Good morning to all of the members on the dais and all my friends who are here on Sunday morning to listen to what we have to say about various stages of life, we, which we are saying that yugs and all. So my expertise in history is only through my book which I have written on Porus. Although I am an HR professional from last 25 years in that profession of HR, working in corporate world, but definitely history is something which everybody would should study definitely, and that's why I got into it and now into history. So porous, I will talk about that because that is the only thing which I know. So porous is, I would suggest, a very important person in our Indian history, and unfortunately, not a single line is written about him in NCERT. Why I say he's a very important guy? Because I believe that he was the person who delayed the dilution of Indian culture by almost 1000 years. Because I believe that he was the guy who actually defeated Alexander. Although whatever has been told to us, we will discuss in another 15-20 minutes and I will tell you why I believe so. But for the porous, we would have been more diluted further if he would have not compelled this guy named Alexander to go back. That's why I decided to choose him. Second, I believe, I am not an historian, but I believe that Porus is the beginning of formal history of India. And in 326, when Alexander came with the ambition to conquer the world, and he thought that India was the last destination where he can, and after that he can go back and say that he has conquered the world, but he decided to go back. There are various things which has been told to us that why he went back, and I studied them in like almost 4 years. I spent a lot of study in reading things about Porus, because things about Alexander, because unfortunately nothing is written about Porus with authentic and primary sources. Whatever you can get only about Alexander, you have to understand him, understand the way he works, the way he fought, and then only you will be able to understand that Alexander, can he do that what was told to us that he did to Porus after defeating him. So there is a very famous saying by one historian, Mr. E.H. Carr. He says that study the historian before you study the facts. So let's come to the historians who have written about Alexander. We know about Alexander through Arrian, through Curtius, through Plutarch. There are many people who have written, but I am talking about these primary people who have written about on Alexander. When were these people born? All of them were born somewhere in 40 to 120 AD. So these people have written primary source, so-called primary source on Alexander, through which we know him. After 400 years after the death of Alexander. So it's like today we write on Aurangzeb. It's that old. And today's world, we are more, well connected, internet, photographs, video, and all that. So we are better equipped to write about Aurangzeb than Arrian writing about Alexander after 4 years of his death. Second, who is he? Definitely a Greek, Roman historians, written with intention of driving or encouraging those people so that they can fight more, because their leader Alexander was the greatest fighter. What he has written is on the basis of two people. This is what has been told, on the basis of writing of Nearchus and Megasthenes and Ptolemy. Who is Ptolemy? Ptolemy was one of the important general who fought with along with Alexander. Who was Nearchus? Nearchus was another important general who fought along with Alexander. And मजे की बात यह है कि not a single original record of these two people is available. We know the record of these two people only through Arrian and Curtius, what they have reproduced it. So there is enough chance of biasness can be included in this particular writing of Nearchus and of Arrian and Curtius. So why Mr. Arrian has chosen, I don't know whether you people know, or very few people must be knowing, that a qualified historian traveled with Alexander, and his reference were there till he reached India. His name was Callisthenes. He was not a small guy. He was a relative of Aristotle, was assigned to Alexander so that he can go and travel along with him and record the history. But his reference, as given by Arrian, when he reached India, he was punished, imprisoned, and killed or executed because he was not liked the manners of the court. He was not able to adjust with that. This is the reason which Arrian has written. I don't know what does this mean. So why and where is his record? No record is available. What he did, what he wrote, nothing. I will assume that he has written maybe truth, and which was not liked by Alexander. As a result, he was imprisoned and then later killed, and it was left to journals like Ptolemy and Nearchus to write about the expedition of Alexander. Now, to understand what was the outcome of Battle of Hydaspes, which was a famous battle with Porus, we should understand what Alexander has done before. Like, for almost 10 years, he was only fighting till he came and fought with Porus. With the people he fought, a very famous incident is about a general named Battus. He was in Gaza. And he decided that he will not give up his fort and he will fight with Alexander. This fight went on for many months. Ultimately, due to some tactics, a wall of the fort was destroyed, and there was a one-on-one fight between Battus and Alexander. The description says that the fight was so furious that Battus' hands were completely wet with his own blood, and his weapon was slipping from his hand. He was captured alive because Alexander wanted him, and Alexander wanted him to lean before him. He said that, no, I will not lean before you because I have defeated you. I don't lean before people whom I have defeated. What happened? Whether he became the very good friend of Alexander, or did he get his kingdom back? No. He was dragged alive on the back of the horse till he died. He died the most brutal death. Then why this sudden change of heart when you see a bravery of a person like Porus? Why you decided that, okay, ये तो हमारा दोस्त है यार, इसको सब वापस कर देते हैं. Somehow it doesn't gel. You are fighting with Bisus, and the person who declared himself as Shah of Persia after the death of Darius. Somehow he is not willing to relent. He fought with you, means Alexander, for years, and he delayed your travel to India for almost 2 years. Finally, you capture him through some deceit. What you did? He was again very brave guy. He was not relenting on any way. And then what you did? You captured him and made him walk on foot till Babylon. From modern day Afghanistan से Babylon तक उसको पैदल लेके गए आप. Just because you wanted to set an example that you should not fight Alexander. Then what happened when you met Porus? Suddenly, why this change of heart that he is my great friend and all? So there are many contradictions which we will see in the writing of Arrians and Roman other historians, what they have written about this battle and the conquest of Alexander till he met Porus. And on that basis, I have tried to driven an idea that the outcome of the battle which we know was completely different than what we know. There are many reasons. One reason which is told to us is that the army of Alexander revolted. They were not willing to go further and all. Achha. There is a very clear reference that when Alexander reaches Indus, his army has manufactured 30,000 boats, and Alexander asked that why so many boats has been created by you people. So he was told that there are many rivers which we have to cross. They were referring about these 5 rivers. So we need a lot of boats. So they were mentally prepared that this is what they have to do. So they knew that they have to cross boats and rivers and all. They have already made preparations and all that. But then they decided to revolt. Why a winning army will revolt? Why an army which is coming to a country which is known for its gold and a lot of riches wins that battle and decide to revolt? Why it will happen? The army which is defeated, they revolt. The army which has been marching from last 10 years to reach their dream destination, the army which has crossed the most difficult terrains, Hindu Kush mountains and all, and reached the plains of Punjab, a very pleasant environment where everything was freely available. After winning a battle, they will revolt. And even if they have revolted, this is not for the first time they have revolted and not for the last time they have revolted. As per Arrian, such revolts were very common in last 10 years with Alexander. They were after you read Arrian, after every 10 pages, there will be a revolt from the army. They don't want to fight for Alexander. There are many references over there. So what happened in this particular revolt when you decided कि नहीं अब तो ये revolt तो बहुत important है भाई, इस पे तो हम नहीं चलेंगे. Okay, they have revolted. Why? They wanted to go back home. क्यों भाई? You have mentioned throughout your history that there was a continuous inflow and outflow of Greek soldiers and generals in this 10 years. People were coming back and going back. It was very common. फिर ये suddenly ये क्या हो गया भाई? If it was common, these people could have been sent back, new people can have joined, it was going on. So why this has happened? Okay, they revolted, they wanted to go home. Why they didn't go home? They went to Susa. सबने शादी रचाई, अच्छे से मजे किए. But they never went back. So if that is the case, then they should have gone. No? Why they have not gone? If they have revolted and they wanted to go back, why choose the most difficult path to go? The desert of Gaudacia, which was considered to be most difficult. Arrian says that it was the most difficult to be crossed by any human. It is written over there. And his explanation why Alexander decided to cross through that is because he wanted to do the most difficult thing. Kyun bhai? Why? When your army has revolted, they don't want to work with you, they want to go back, why will you try the most difficult thing? Send them through the area which you have already conquered, which you have your own people manning, your governors are there, they can safely go back. You decided कि नहीं भाई उधर से नहीं जाएंगे, हम तो इधर से जाएंगे. So this all, if you put together, it gives a conclusion that कि भाई बात कुछ और थी भाई. Probably you could not win that battle. Probably you could not choose your own path. Probably your choices were limited. Probably you were forced to drive through a different type of path. And as you read more, go through that, then you will understand that all these nitty-gritty, which will show that जो हम कहते हैं सुनते हैं कि सिकंदर ने पोरस से की थी लड़ाई तो मैं क्या करूं. So this whole concept of मैं क्या करूं, which has been told to us, is not the right concept. In fact, I believe that every student should take very deep interest in history. Somehow we have been told that history is not that important. You should spend more time in science, math, economics, commerce, whatever it may be. But my friend, whatever you study, any study you do is actually study of history. If you study science, you are actually studying the history of science, what Newton has already done. MC square, E is equal to MC square has been already discovered. You are studying the history of science. You are studying the history of maths, something which has already been invented, done and dusted. You are reading that. So it is important for you to study the history of mankind as well. Don't you think it is most important? So all this fad that history is not that important is somehow, I don't know who has cultivated and ingrained that in us. In fact, history of humankind is the most and the only important subject which we all should know. People who know that how things are done, how things are driven, and how people can be motivated, they have done wonders in this world. And somehow people have told us, people have told you not to do that. I don't know why. So we all actually study history, but somehow decide not to study history of nation and humankind, which is not the right way of looking into it. Until unless we question, until unless we study more, this will not, it will not be taken away from us. People ask me that what you have written in your book is whether it is true or not. So what is truth? What is the definition of truth? Sach kya hai? Truth has its own meaning. Lot of people have spent life on discovering truth, because truth is not somewhere outside. Truth is inside you. Truth is only what you already know. My definition of truth is that truth is what I know. That's it. Anything contrary to which, if it is told to me somehow, my first reaction is, "Ki, ye galat hai. This is not right." Arey, you don't know. If I say, like, for example, this, and ask you people who are sitting over there, you all will have a different interpretation of this. Somebody will saying कि भाई वो hi कर रहा है. Somebody will say he is from political party, showing the symbol. Someone will say that he is very arrogant, he is showing his hand. Somebody will say that no, इसकी किस्मत की रेखा बहुत खराब है. So all this interpretation is based on what you know, not the truth. Somebody sitting on this side will see something completely different picture. You all are here, and you will say that during this particular lecture there was a complete silence in this hall, until unless I tell you that there is a small sound of background sound of some is going on. Now you have just noticed. Point is that you notice what your mind wants you to notice. You notice what you already know, what is your own internal bias. Beyond that, you don't want to know. So this can be only fought by adding more and more knowledge, not by saying that what I know is final and that is the only thing. No. Until unless you read more, different types of outlooks, different types of, things, you will not be able to reach to the point which you say that what is the truth. There is nothing like truth. Truth kuch bhi nahi hai. Truth is what you are, what you know. So if you want truth, you have to add more and more knowledge. Since childhood, I have been told that this is the darkest time. We are living in a very bad yug, which is called as Kali Yuga. The best time has already been, passed. Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar, and then you are left with this yug, which is called as Kali Yuga. But I don't believe. I think this is the best time. This is the best yug of all the yugs which we already think about. Kali Yuga is the best yug. People say that no, in Kali Yuga there will be, loss of dharma. People will be greedy, lusty, and whatnot. But this has always been. Since the first yug, it has always been. अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो रावण भेष बदल के नहीं आता सीता को लेने के लिए. ऐसा नहीं होता तो इंद्र जो है ना भेष बदल के किसी ऋषि की वाइफ के पीछे नहीं जाता. It has always been and it will be. But what is the difference between these yugas is only related to knowledge and our ability to decode, which has been thrown, this maze which has been thrown or created by the God. This is how I believe. The God created this maze and asked us, human being, with our knowledge and ability to decode how it goes. The moment we keep crossing these barriers of decoding these maze, we advance into the next phase. One day will come when we will decode everything, and this whole universe will be destroyed on that particular day, and the God will recreate. It will be a re-beginning. It can happen today, immediately, or it may take another thousands of years for us to decode. Today, we know a lot of secrets of natures. Today, we know दिन रात क्यों होता है, weather क्यों change होता है, what is the reason for disease, why people die. We have landed on moon, we are going to Mars, we have achieved a lot of things, and that's why we are more closer to decode this universe, and we will do it. And the moment we will do it, boom, we all will be gone. But this is the reality. We all know we will die one day, but still we live. We believe that, okay, we are walking out daily towards death, but still it doesn't mean that you will stop walking. So we are living in the best age where information is here on click of our button. We can know anything, we can decode anything. It's our job is to make sure that we are targeted and focused toward the right thing so that we are able to get the knowledge in the best possible way. Today's demon of this age is misinformation. If information is flowing very fast, for your knowledge, misinformation, fake news is also flowing faster. That is the demon of this age, which we have to fight and defeat them to decode this yug and make this yug as the best yug of it. Thank you.